Hello, guys. Hello. I hope you guys are having a great week. I am so sorry I wasn't able to catch you guys last week. Oh my goodness, my screen is freezing for some reason. If that continues, I will switch over the Wi-Fi. But yes, I'm so happy to see you guys this week. Last week I was ill. I had the Rona, but I'm all right now, guys. So I'm happy to be here, happy to be back, and I missed you. I want to say hello to Queen Lala, which I call her the security of the stream because she signed up to be the security. Hi, Mr. Steele. Welcome in. Hey, Queen Lala. Hi, Larry. Hello, Larry. Hello, Tamika. Hello. Hi, Searchy. Welcome in, Searchy. And also, I want to welcome our new member, Gang, Mr. Jerome Boy. Welcome. Welcome in, and thank you for becoming a member. Right, guys. So this week, I have been seeing a lot of talk around the tubes about control and authority. I want to say control and authority over a woman. And this is because recently there has been an uptick in women losing their minds on YouTube. If you guys haven't seen it, it's everywhere. I mean, ever since the whole Roe v. Wade incident happened, women have lost their minds. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but women are all over the YouTubes. Not even YouTube, all over the internet as a whole, popping thought pockets, as they call it. And I forget who is the one who came up with that term, but I love it. It's just so fitting. It's just moi, thought pockets. Thought pockets have been clapping and popping and flapping all over the tubes, all over the internet in the last 2 to 3 weeks. I haven't been here last week, so I think we need to make up for what I missed. But there has been a lot of flapping and clapping and all of that of thought pockets, and we have to talk about that. And I think this is the reason why this conversation has been all over the internet recently. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, recently this week there have been, I want to say, three podcasts about this, and I want to give you guys my take because I have not seen a woman speak about this topic. You guys know I'm very red pill. I'm very much a men's rights activist, and I'm very much on the right of most things. Most issues, I'm on the right. So I want to give you guys a woman's perspective on disciplining or having authority over a woman. Because I understand that in this current culture, no one is allowed to have any say so over a woman. You can't tell her what to do. You can't tell her how to dress. You can't tell her what to say. She is her own boss, and everybody is just their own boss in today's world, in today's modern dating world as well. Everyone is their own boss. Nobody has to listen to anyone. I think that should change, as you guys know. So, let's begin. Hi, Alicia. Welcome. She says, hey, Ameera. So glad to see you back. I'm glad to be back as well. I'm telling you guys, the Rona, I had never had it before, and hopefully we'll never have it again, but it had left symptoms like side effects of confusion on me, which unexpected symptom of that. Oh, well. Right. Hello, Miss Bess. Hi, how are you? I'm good. I'm better. Hi, Norma. Hey, Chica. Hi, Mac. Welcome. Hi, Boa. Nice to see you, Boa. All right, let's begin. So I want to pull up my first banner with you guys, and this banner is, can he discipline you? If you are in a relationship or a marriage with a man, I want to ask the women, can he discipline you? And I know this word is something that sends either chills up women's spines, or it makes women want to pick up their phone and dial their brother, their uncle, their cousin, 911, what have you. No need. Can he discipline you? If you are under his authority, can he discipline you? Will you be accepting of his discipline, or will you reject it? Or will you try to discipline him? Because that that is something I also want to talk about, is women disciplining men. And what for? Protection and authority. So I want to begin with this. Protection and authority. When I was watching this discussion online, what men were saying, ladies, listen up, what men were saying was, if I am your man and I am protecting you as a man should, then I have certain authority over you. Because if you're going to be under my protection, then I should have certain say so over you. Because how am I even going to protect you if I have no say so? I have no weight in your life. How am I going to protect you? And a lot of women, I do believe, a lot of women in current America do want the protection. They want that provision. They want to be taken care of, but they don't want what comes along with that, and that is authority over you. Because a lot of women feel so independent, which is true. A lot of women are somewhat independent, where you can work, you can make your own money. Yes, you can. But to be honest, you're only independent because men have made the world so comfortable that you can be so-called independent. We all know that if we go back to the real world, where maybe there isn't as much stable electricity, maybe there isn't clean water, maybe there isn't clean water, maybe there's more danger outside, which is coming. I spoke about this on my channel, about the violence that's coming, about the crime, the uptick in crime that's coming because of the instability of our economy, of the instability in our culture, in the American culture. Have you guys seen gas prices lately? Have you guys known that people are stealing gas out of rental cars? Did you guys know that? Your favorite rental car companies like Avis, Budget, Alamo, what have you, they're having gas stolen out of their cars, out of their rental cars while they're parked. Because everybody knows, high definition, everybody knows that rental cars are always full of gas. They're always full. So people are starting to steal gas even. In Arizona, home robberies has gone up. People stealing from houses, people just walking into mansions and setting up tent. Did you guys also know that the police are being held by the werewolves? They aren't allowed to work anymore, and a lot of police do not care. A lot of police are not even working anymore. When they see a perpetrator running, they just let him go because it's not worth it anymore. Do you guys see what's happening around you? Now more than ever, us as women, we have to make sure that we are under the protection of someone. And if you want to be under the protection of another woman, do your thing. I wish you the best. But I, myself, would rather be under the protection and guidance of a man. Because that is how it should be. Right. So, protection and authority. If a man is who you call when bad things happen to you, if you get robbed, if you get in a car accident, who is the person that you call as a woman? That man who you call is the authority of you. If you're asking for his protection, he is your authority. In a lot of ways, he should be seen as your boss. This is what the men were saying. Men were saying, you treat me like I were your boss. Your boss at work, how when he tells you to sit down, you go sit down. He tells you to come here, you obey. Why can't we do that with a man? I'm going to push back on that a little bit further. I think it should be more than just a boss. It shouldn't be just your boss. This should be more like, and a lot of women aren't going to like me saying this, but more like a father figure. It should be like a father figure. The man that you chose to be in your life, to be your protector, you better choose good, because he should be something that you look up to even. You don't look up to your boss at work. The majority of the time you don't look up to him. You just obey because you get your check. But your man, I believe that it should be even more he should be even more revered than a boss. I hope I'm using that word right, revered. If you ask for his protection, then he has authority over you. My next banner to you is this. What are the limits? Are there limits to the discipline that a man can put on a woman? Are there limits? And what are they? Because I know a lot of women, when they hear discipline, they think that's what they think. They think, oh, so what? He's going to tell me what to do. And if I don't do it, then what? I get what? I get spanked? I get slapped around? What? Is that what you're promoting, Ameera? Kind of. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. All I'm saying is that between certain partners, between certain relationships, I believe that they, between themselves, should make a deal of what they want to be consequences of bad behavior. Every relationship is different. Oh my God, I sound like Kay. Everybody is different. Whatever. Every relationship is different. We understand that. But there are things that should be the same, that should be like foundational of all relationships, as we all know. But between people, there are certain limits. Like, I gave you guys an example a long time ago. I'm not going to repeat it. You guys can find the video for yourself. I'm not going to repeat it. But some couples do say that, you know, oh God, this is going to be, oh goodness. Some couples do say that corporal punishment on a woman is okay. Some say it's not. Some women say, you can never, ever touch me. You can't even grab my wrist or I'm going to call the police. Anything happens to me physically, I'm calling the police. And I'm not going to tell anyone where they have to be in that aspect, but there should always be consequences to bad behavior. No matter what the consequence is, if it's going to be corporal punishment, if it's going to be removal of certain affection, maybe. So Islamically, we have a system. We have a system set up for disciplining a woman. And if you guys don't know what it is, I'll share with you. In our system, Islamically, it says, first you must admonish your woman of what she's doing wrong. You must speak to her first. Tell her the problem. Let her know the severity of her behavior, what have you, and the reason why you are unhappy or displeased with her. Second, if she still does not listen, then you separate beds. You do not sleep together. That doesn't mean that the man leaves the house. It doesn't mean that he goes find another girl. It doesn't mean that he does anything violent or anything, but he separates the beds. He will no longer sleep with her until the behavior changes. That basically means remove some of the affection, remove some of that softness so that she can understand he is displeased with me. He's not really talking to me that much right now because he is displeased. And lastly, if she still doesn't get it, it does say that he can beat her. But what does a beating entail? It depends, because a lot of people say the beating, if a man is to beat his wife, that he should not leave marks. There should be no broken bones. There should be no bloodshed, no bruises. What type of beating is that? If there's not going to be any marks, no nothing, no redness. Some people say you beat her with the size of a toothpick, with a stick like a toothpick or a handkerchief. It's not to hurt her, it's to embarrass her. I understand a lot of women are like, oh no, I can hear it. I can hear you guys, and I don't even have you on the screen, and I can hear you. I can hear the ladies. Oh, no. No one is going to embarrass me, hit me, make red marks on me. No. If no one can tell you anything and no one can impose consequences on you, then why be in a relationship? Why be in that kind of intimate relationship if no one can tell you anything? And if you don't do what your protector is asking you to do, I don't know what's going on with the internet. Can you hear me, JR? Can you hear me? So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is he really the authority over you if he cannot tell you anything? Oh my gosh, it's so choppy. Oh, this is bothering me so much, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about that, guys. I want to continue, but I'm scared it's going to be choppy. Okay, there. Okay. My next banner to you is this. Can he embarrass you? The reason I ask that is because a lot of men fear being embarrassed by their woman out in public. A lot of men have been speaking about that this week. Me listening to Red Pill content, as I always do, I listened to the podcast this week, and a lot of men have said, the reason I want to be able to tell her like what to do or have her listen to me is because I don't want to be either embarrassed by her, or I don't also want to have to get into a fight because of her. Because women can say anything and do anything they want, and the man is the one that has to take the fight for her, if that makes any sense. There have been men who have gotten knocked out because of his woman, because his woman didn't know when to be quiet. So yes, this is another reason why they say they want to have some type of authority over you. If you are going to get in a relationship, are you going to let this man have authority over you? Do you trust him enough to have authority over you? Because that is a big deal. It's how can I say? It's trusting your bodily wellness in his arms around others in public. It's my goodness. Oh my God, it's freezing so much. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next banner then. What is the man's role? What is the man's role in a relationship or a marriage? If he is not going to be trusted to be the authority over his family and over his woman, then what is his actual role? What do you want him there for? Is a man just to be a plant there, just to say, please don't do this and please don't do that, and it's only a suggestion, not an actual order? If we don't take it serious, if we don't say, okay, you know what, this is a big deal. If I don't do so and so, there will be consequences. Doesn't have to be physical, guys, doesn't have to be physical. But at the same time, there will be consequences if I don't listen. So, what is a man's role if not to lay down the law in his marriage, in his relationships? If the man is the one who's going to be protecting you and looking over you, he is the one who's going to be expected to put his life on the line if something goes down outside. If you guys are walking together outside and somebody starts shooting or what have you, he's going to be the one that you're going to look to stand in front of you, to move you, to protect you. And this is another reason why I think a lot of men see different cultures, because Western culture has taught the women that you are equal, that you can do just as much as the men, that you can be a protector of yourself. I know it's freezing, guys. Please bear with me. But that you can be the protector of yourself. And this is why you see a lot of men who go to different cultures and they see that the women still understand. I'm not a man. I never will be. I'm not equal physically, logically, mentally. I'm not equal. I have my own good attributes, but I'll never be a man. And women in our culture, in my culture, we still respect the man's authority. We respect that a man is our protector and that if something happens to us, he will feel responsible because we are under him. I wish that, Western men could feel that, because it's almost like giving him the authority of a king. Sorry about that. People are calling me right now. All right. So, yeah. Okay, so next is, can a woman discipline a man? Can she discipline a man? Women always ask this question. They always say, oh, so you think that women should be disciplined? So what about when the man acts up? What about when he does something wrong? Who disciplines the man? Who? If I can't do anything and he can only discipline me, well, that's unbalanced. And this is why a lot of women don't appreciate the system. They don't like the system where the man is on top and she is under him and then everyone else follows after. They don't like it because they say, well, he's not perfect. Why does he get to discipline me if he's not perfect? Who disciplines the man? And I have an answer for you. It's not the woman. Women, oh ye women, you don't discipline men. You can. I believe that women, when it comes down to trying to let her man know about a bad behavior of his, there are ways that women can let her man know. But in no way can you discipline him. Sorry. There's just no way. Because if this man is the authority and he is the boss of the family, how the heck are you going to be the one telling the boss what to do? It doesn't work that way. That's like you going to work and telling your boss that you're going to fire him. You can't do it. It doesn't work. Are you really going to go to work and say, hey, look, you told me that I have to do this, this, and this. I'm not doing it. And if you have a problem with it, I'll fire you. Oh, you took a long lunch, boss. You're going to get fired. You can't do it. It doesn't work that way. The best that you can do is to let the man know what's bothering you. Speak. Communicate, but you cannot punish him. But he should be able to punish you. I know a lot of women don't like that because it's not equal. It's not equality. This is not what a relationship is about. You're in a relationship, it's not about equality. You're not equal. So don't try to bring this equality talk into a marriage or a relationship because it won't work. I want to look at your comments, guys, because I know this has been kind of everywhere right now. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Hi, Timothy. How are you? Black Pill said, ouch, they don't like that. This is what I see all the time. This is why I'm speaking on it. I see it all the time where women get so triggered about this subject. They get so triggered, and I understand why. Because a lot of women, they go straight to, oh my God, it's freezing. A lot of women go straight to, you know what? I know someone who was abused, who was unfortunately deleted or what have you. So if I let him discipline me, then that's going to lead to me being, oh my God, it's freezing. It's going to lead to me being killed. That's what a lot of women argue. And this is where, remember Kevin Samuels used to say, do not act out of fear. Do not act out of fear and lack. Put some trust into the person that you have designated your authority, your person, your man. Put some trust in him. If you chose a wrong person to trust in, then of course, exit that. Don't stay. But I don't understand why we get into these relationships and we're like, I love you. I'm going to have you be my authority figure. You're going to be my protector. But as soon as he does some protecting, or trying to protect you, you tell him, hey, no. Don't cross your lines. You have a limit. You do what I let you do. I don't get it. I don't get it. Where's the trust? All right. Yes, exactly. Black pill. Thank you. Men punish men. Men punish men. This is what I'm saying. If there is a problem with a man, you find another man to straighten that out. Find another man. Find your father. This is why having your father is so important. Find your father. Find your brother. In our culture, we have a wali, like our guardian, a male guardian. Get this person to correct this behavior. But in no way, woman, are you in a position to correct a man. You're not. You're just not. Because most men don't care about what you have to say. Most men, because we don't live the same lives, they don't care what you have to say. You can whine. Have you guys seen how many women will be on the phone with their significant other? Here, my fake phone here. On the phone. You come home right now. Do you hear what I'm saying? Hello? They don't care. They don't care. because to them it sounds like static, white noise. We as women think we're so intimidating. We think we're so bold and so, oh, he's going to listen to me. He's going to know. We're not. We're really not. Most men, I'm sorry, not even most. 99% of men they're not intimidated by us, girls. If he listened to you, it's because he made a decision to listen to you, but it's not because he's intimidated by you by far. Don't think you're so gangster. You're not. I love when I see these type of women with tattoos and, masculine, and they think, oh, if I tell a man this, I can fight a man. I can blah, blah, blah. If you fight a man and you win, it's because he let you. He let you win. Or he took it easy on you. It doesn't work that way. And if we were actually honest with ourselves, this is how it would be in actual nature. We would already understand that. But because we live in a civilized world where men have been neutered, women think that they are stronger, that they should be the ones with say so. So, Mr. Steele, I want to welcome Mr. Steele in. Hello, Mr. Steele. How?
Hey, I'm doing fine. And you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm going through this freezing of the screen and people calling. I'm so sorry. But how are
Yeah,
you?
all right. Hey, technology can be unpredictable these days.
You telling me?
Yeah.
What do you think about men disciplining a woman?
I've been having a debate with myself as I'm listening if discipline's really the right word for it. And the reason why I keep debating, with myself about it, because you know, it's not really much to do. Well, let me say this. The only punishment you can give a woman if you're a good man is that you break up with her. That's the only punishment really there is. You could talk to her about her behavior over and over again, but then you have enough of it. That's the ultimate punish. Just break up with her. You know when you know when a woman is with a good man, I mean, you have your basic benefits. She's protected. She is taught. She is led. Uh, she is provided for. I mean, those are the basics. And that can mean everything to a submissive woman, because he's not willing to be submissive. I mean, the only thing he can do is just break up with her, and she'll lose all those basic uh benefits.
Mr. Steele, I will respectfully disagree with you. I believe that is the opposite way around. I think that's the only thing a woman could do to, that can be the ultimatum for a woman is to say, I'm not going to stay here. But I think for men, I believe that men do have tears. They do have ways to work up to that. I don't think that the ultimate, the only punishment that you can have for a woman is to separate from her. I do believe, like I said, culturally, in my culture, there's 3 steps: admonishment, speaking to her first, letting her know her issue, her behavior that is displeasing. Secondly, to separate beds, which means to pull back the affection, don't be as nice anymore, let her know that you are displeased. And thirdly, of course, we hopefully it never gets there, but thirdly, if you see that it will help, then you can beat her. But it also says that if you think that beating will make the situation worse, don't do it. So
And
knowing your woman and knowing the steps that you can take, I don't believe in that the only thing a man can do is separate, because women are very sensitive. We're very sensitive, and we pick up on the slightest changes, the slightest change. Like if the man typically comes home and gives you a hug when he comes home, if that is missing in the routine, we will notice. We'll pick up on it. There's so many more things that a man can do, in my opinion. What do you think?
well, I mean, yeah, yeah. On the man's part, he should come home, knowing that he has a woman in his house, and he should be looking forward to that woman in his house. But again, let's say the man does his part to do, and the lady, just don't want to cooperate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is why I say, the only ultimate discipline is to, to separate from her, because I know, and you say in your culture, you do have light beings, not, slap in the face or anything like that,
Right.
but, just like handkerchief or,
Yeah.
pick or
Yeah.
what have you.
Big, big handkerchief. Mm-hmm.
And, in your culture, it's very custom for you. But here in America, if we do that ever so slightly, we're gonna get accused of being abusive, because it's not part of the Western culture. Now the part about not sleeping in the same bed,
Mm-hmm.
it happens here sometimes. We have people who one sleeps in the bed, one sleep on the couch. It's sort of like that. And sometimes it may work, but again, the way some of these women are today, independent, always want to be the boss chicks or anything like that, you know, they don't really respect the wishes of the man. But they want to come in, they're going to have to, if they want to be protected, and they need protection, whether
Mm-hmm.
they acknowledge it or not,
Mm-hmm.
they need that protection. They need to be provided for, whether they believe that or not. If they want to get those things, okay, they have to do their part, in a relationship, because I know a good man will do
Hi,
his
Mr.
part.
Logic. Mr. Steele, I hear what you're saying. I do. Like I said, honestly, I know a lot of people. I see in the chat. I see people saying, "Did Ameera say beat? Did she say that?" I did. I did. But that word, I understand what you guys. I know what the implications are. But that word, I'm not saying beat somebody to a pulp. I'm not saying start kicking someone on the ground. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, because before, if you notice, it used to be that when a person is losing their mind or going crazy, you used to be able to give them a swift hey and bring them back to earth. Stop it. Because back then, that's what it was. If a person, what is it called when somebody's like manic or going through mania? And that happens a lot with women. Women, let's just be honest with ourselves. We do that a lot. We go through these mania times, especially when it's that time of the month. We do. So I mean, honestly, and I'm not saying that this is for everyone. This is not for everyone. If you see, I've seen even online where they have couples who, oh my God, I don't know if I can even speak on this. This is a little bit off the topic, okay, guys, a little bit off. But they do have couples, like Christian couples online, that say, oh, the woman has agreed that, hey, if I get out of line or I'm crazy, my husband has the right to paddle me. When I get home, I can get paddled by my man if I've been acting out. I don't know if that is kind of fetish talk. I don't know if that's a form of foreplay or not. I'm not exactly sure, but I do know it is a thing where couples have agreed that, hey, if it comes down to this and you're not listening to me, I have the right to corporally punish you. I've seen also men who will take a stick and hit the bottom of a woman's foot, hit the bottom of her feet.
So
She's not listening. She's doing whatever she wants. She has disregarded her man completely. He's like, okay, tie your feet, and I'm gonna hit the bottom of your feet with a stick. That is very painful. I know it doesn't look like it. It's very painful.
yeah.
So I don't go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I know a lot of people when they hear that they get really like iffy about that. And it's like I'm not even saying that it always has to be corporal. There are other punishments too. There are financial punishments where I'm not going to give you all the money that I used to give you because you don't know how to act. I'm not giving you that money. I'm not sending you shopping. I'm not, there's certain things that I used to do that I'm not going to do until the behavior changes, until you start acting like you should. Stop embarrassing me in the street. Don't embarrass me. You have to learn. Because I'm going to be honest, Mr. Steele, what I've seen since, like I said, since Roe v. Wade, since that issue, I've seen online many women are losing it, just behaving so badly. And I'm like, where are the punishments for this behavior? There's none. You can't tell a woman anything. You can't do anything. And every woman knows, you can't touch me. You can't do anything to me, because I will go to daddy government, or I will, I'll make a big deal and make a police report or something like that will happen. You can't tell a woman anything. So where is the limit? This is my question to the public. Where is the limit in Western culture? When would there be consequences for bad behavior for women? Other cultures have consequences, and you see that the women act accordingly. Is it wrong? It can be wrong, but it works. Is it scary? Yes, it's scary, but that's part of the reason why women tend to act a certain way, because they know better and they know that there's consequences to their behavior. The Western woman is out of control and out of order because there's no consequences. There's no fear. They have no fear. Men are neutered dogs in the West. Neutered. It's still a dog nonetheless, still scary, still can bite you, but it's neutered. So it doesn't have the testosterone, and it's leashed and muzzled. So this is the only reason why Western women feel that they have so much say, so much, I don't know, so much just wild tendencies.
And you know what? This is why good men do not even go near these women, don't even consider them to be their mate because of attitudes like this. We're not going to waste our time or energy on them. I'm not going to try to protect you if you're going to be this way towards us. We are not going to, you're definitely not going to provide for you. We're not going to put our lives on line for you if you act like this, because sometimes those women can even put us in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they could be a sediment for us. See, this is where, when you go out to a woman, careful courting and careful vetting is paramount. You want to see, what that woman's about. If she's willing to submit to you, meaning she's willing to trust you with her life.
This is what I'm saying. Thank you, Mr. Steele. Thank you for using that word. This is the word that I wanted to use. Trust. Trust it. Trust your man. Trust the person that you give the authority over you for. This is why he's here. Trust that what he's saying is what you should be doing. Trust that he is doing or saying to do something because it's for your best interest. Don't reject every authority because you think that it's controlling or abusive. Just trust the man's decision, why he's saying, this is what I'm doing because it's for your best. Stop fighting me about it. There's no trust.
Right. And that's all we're trying to do.
Well, and Crystal says, I'd rather the husband and wife talk it out. That's why I said there are stages. I'm not saying, oh, something goes wrong, you go straight to, give me your feet so I can beat your feet now. No, relax. I'm saying there are stages, and speaking should be the first thing. Admonishment should be the first stage in discipline. And if you can't, if speaking, there's certain children that you speak to, they don't care. I was one of those kids. My parents could speak to me all day, all night, and I would be like, are you done? And I would never say that because then, but I would, in my mind, essentially be like, I can't wait for this admonishment to be over. This verbal flogging, I just can't wait for it to be over. But when I knew that if my baba was mad enough, I knew that I could be whipped. I was like, oh no, I didn't want to be whipped. So I was like, okay, I'll be good. There's certain kids you just can't. And the same thing with women. Mr. 65 LMIT, do you have a name? Here. All right, I'll bring you in. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
What's your name?
It's Tim.
Tim? Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Tim. Mr. Enemiga. Mr. Enemiga, you have on no shirt and it looks like you're smoking. So if you wanna come on, you kindly put on some clothing. And yeah. I saw you putting out your middle finger earlier. I don't know who that was directed to, but I would appreciate it if you act normal. if I bring you up. Okay, Mr. Tim. Welcome, Mr. Tim. Well,
How you
Mr.
doing?
Hi there. What do you think about this conversation?
I agree with Dr. Steele. In the
Mm-hmm.
Western culture, the best thing a man can do to get out of a toxic situation is to leave after counseling. I understand your culture is a little different, but um, that's a setup if a man in the Western culture try to, let's say, I won't use the word beat, but try to restrain his significant other to get focused and get straight. And from my experience in the Western culture, when a woman start acting out, that typically means she's ready to leave. So the best thing for any man to do, maybe after counseling, is to watch the situation away and just leave. Um, I totally agree with Dr. Steele. Like that's my experience in the Western culture. Typically, when a woman is on board with her man, I have to admit, if a man can lead, a woman will follow naturally for the most part. Like if he's doing what he's supposed to do, treating her good, you know, the house is good. He's not in the streets. The bills are paid. He's treating her good. She treat a woman. Typically, a woman it's a not for my experience. It's a natural instance to submit to her man.
Well,
But a
I mean,
lot of
if the woman has been properly raised, I would say yes, I would agree. But when you have
yeah,
women who are raised to think that they are equal, which is the majority of Western women, I don't agree with this. Oh, just leave them alone because let's just be honest, the marriage rate. Oh God, I need to get my charger. The marriage rates in the West are tanking. They're just pitiful. They're pitiful. So yes, men have been. There's echo. I'm gonna mute you. Okay. Uh, yeah, there you go. So the marriage rates in the West are pitiful. We already know that. So what you're saying is just don't go to them. Don't. It doesn't change the fact that these women are still breeding. They're still having children. They're still out in the streets, and they're still around the women that could possibly be good women that are getting influenced by these bad women. Because there's still no consequences. So as much as you want to say like, oh, we'll just leave them alone, we'll just have the peaceful route and just go to the good ones. How many good ones are there in the West? How many good, please mute yourself for a second. How many good ones are there in the West versus bad when we look outside? And do you think that just leaving the bad ones and just going to the good ones is the solution? Because how many men out there versus how many women? Do you understand what I'm saying? The numbers, it won't create a good society. I'm sorry. I believe that the easiest way is to create these consequences. Let a woman know, hey, this is not what we're going to do. I didn't say every man has to beat his woman. That's not what I'm saying. You guys should like get that out of your mind. I know that's what everybody's thinking. That's not what I'm saying, but there should be consequences and stern ones.
first of all, I think it's more good women than bad women. I think the bad women have a stage, a platform to like the city girl. Like everybody want to do the city girl thing. I think they have a better platform. But I
You are
think
very optimistic, sir.
hey, I try to, I'm not in the street, so I only can go by what I can see. I can say, like this whole city girl thing, you know, that's leading the platform right now. And I think it's influencing a lot of women out there to do this whole I call it a modern women thing. But I think deep down inside, for most women, if they come across a decent man, I would say for the most part, a good man, I say a good man, whatever we call a good man, I would say for the most part, she she she'll 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 submit, whatever y'all submit, do what she need to do. I just think this whole modern women thing, this whole modern city girl thing is just the face of the this women movement. You know, I don't think a lot of these women that's doing this whole city girl thing, I don't think they like bad. I just think they just think it's like women follow. They like to follow whatever's in the trend right now. you know, and I think that's what's going on right
Hmm. Mr. Yeah. Hi. Hi there. Can you hear me? So, what is your view on men disciplining their women?
now.
Okay, well, since you're not ready, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with him. Scam like me, guys. Whatever happens from here on out, I'm not responsible.
Man.
I'm not responsible for Mr.
I'm
Scam.
not responsible either. I'm not.
Miss Anita, can I get you to give me a wave, Miss Anita, please? Just a sign of life. That's all. Miss Carter, Mrs. Carter, pardon. Hi there. We'll let you in. We have a lady. Welcome. Okay, Mr. Scam Likely and Mrs. Carter, please. I would love to have the view of a woman on here because, oh my gosh, thank you, Illy Dunn. He says they need a flogging. This is what I'm saying. A flogging, a proper flogging would be nice. That would be nice. I'm like, okay, all right. I know women don't like to hear that. What do you guys think about it, Mrs. Carter? Are you
Yeah, Miss Carter, go ahead and go first. I'll pass.
Mrs. Carter?
Okay, I'm so sorry. What was the question again? I didn't hear her question.
Would you let your man discipline you? Can your man discipline you?
Hell no.
Oh,
One, because he's not my daddy. I've already been raised. Second of all, I wouldn't put myself in a position to where my husband has to discipline me. Okay?
understand.
Nowhere in the Bible does it say that a man is supposed to hit a woman at all. And I tell my boys, because I have nothing but boys. I have a 19-year-old and I have a 9-year-old. I tell my sons, if you want to put your hands on them girls, leave them the heck alone. Leave them alone. Because they're not for you, son. It's not worth them going to jail for or possibly even killed behind that crap. Because there's a lot of women out there that ain't going to take nobody putting no hands on them. They'll shoot you, they'll stab you, they'll kill you. They just as bad. Now, I do believe in respecting the man as the head of the household. Absolutely. But if your woman does not respect you as the head of the household and she's being disrespectful, leave her. That's it. But you don't put your hands on no woman. I have boys. And by saying that, it's like, I could put my boys in danger. Oh, yeah, beat your wife if she don't listen to you. Heck no. Heck no. I can put my baby in a life or death situation. There is no way I would allow that. But I carry myself as a woman, and I expect that when they go to choose their wives, that they will pick wives too that will carry themselves just in the same direction. I'm on a live chat. That's my husband. So you see how you asked me a question and I answered him right away? Yes. Because he knows he's the head of the house. He knows he comes first. You get what I'm saying? And I take care of home. I take care of my kids. And I couldn't believe, like, wow.
I'm gonna mute her for a second because I don't think she can hear me. Mrs. Carter, hi. I wanted to ask you this. Do you believe that there's any time, I know you probably can't hear me that well, I'll try to speak up. Do you think that there's any time that you have seen where women do not face any consequences for bad behavior? Do you think that this is part of the reason why we see the out of orderness, if that's a word, the out of orderness that we have in this society, in Western society, that you do not see in Eastern society? Do you think that that is part of the reason why? Because women know that there's consequences.
No. No, honestly, I believe that the Eastern women, you guys have consequences because hold on one second, my husband's doing something real quick. Hold on.
And I want to say thank you.
So,
I want to say
back
thank you
to
for
what I was
having a
saying.
woman.
Eastern women have consequences, but I don't think that they're right consequences at all. By no means at all. I don't, and I believe that the problem comes from them seeing other women or not having a biblical background of growing up, because according to the word, you're not supposed to put your hands on no woman, period. And if we do things according to the way that God has planned for us to do them in the Bible, because it clearly tells us how to do things. It clearly tells us how the family is supposed to be structured. It clearly tells us our actions and their actions. Nowhere in it does it say nobody put hands on nobody.
Do you think that women today are following the Bible or not?
Say what?
Do you really think that women today care what the Bible says or if they're following
Yes,
the Bible
why
at
not?
all?
I do. Why not? I do.
Do you see the comment? Do you see the comment below from the Crimson Cure? Thank you, Crimson Cure. She says discipline doesn't always involve anything physical. Most women in
I can't see the
society
comments. I can't see
Here.
the comments. I'm sorry.
Okay, just listen for me. Listen. It says discipline doesn't always involve anything physical. Most women in this society don't want any consequence, not even her man raising his voice or displaying his disappointment at all. Do you have a response to that?
Yes. Well, that's, I don't know what relationship that is. I do believe that, of course, if there's a problem, you have to voice your opinion. But I also believe that when you do things the right way, according to the Bible, you and your husband won't have those issues either. Yes, there will be problems, but problematical problems to where it's escalating to putting your hands on each other. No, I don't think so.
I don't think you're listening, Mrs. Carter. I think that you are stuck on hands and fighting and physical. That's not what we were saying, Miss Crimson Cure.
No. I did say raising your voice too, didn't I?
I didn't hear you say that.
Yes, I said there are going to be arguments, yes, but there's ways of communication without always yelling to the top of your lungs and arguing at each other. Me and my husband do it all the time. We can sit and we can also agree to disagree as well too. Grown ups do not have to sit there and yell at each other like kids.
Mr. Kim Likely or Mr. Logic, what do you guys have to say about it?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say this though, and this is why I don't listen to people on YouTube. I have seen this lady in action on the Anton show, and so everything that she's saying now is in direct conflict of her actions on a live stream. So, i.e., all she's doing is right now is just talking.
You know Mrs. Carter?
Yeah. How you doing, ma'am?
Oh, hold on. Let me unmute her. Sorry.
Is this the one that was arguing with her husband in the apartment at that time?
Yes, or with her husband.
Oh, God,
you know what I'm saying? She put hands on him.
That was you?
Yes.
What?
Sorry. Excuse me, ma'am. Report to the streets immediately.
My husband?
Your Uber will pick you up in 6 minutes.
Put my hands on you?
Oh,
Yes, that's crazy, right?
I always shoving that camera in his face. See, you know what? I'm not gonna even. This is not really.
And he's a man. He's a man.
All right.
He's a man.
So,
Come on, man.
could you please my last statement from the
Say
record?
what you're saying prior. But
All right, so we're scratching from the record because it's really not about you. The thing is that it goes back to what I say. I don't believe nothing these individuals say on YouTube, because when you get to the pressure point, they will show you who they are, and then like, hey, all you gotta do, I say, sit back and wait and just listen. And then with this individual woman here, it was done in front of about 600 people, and then she had no fear, she had no care in the world, because just like you said, Ameera, and I said this yesterday on Security Boss channel, is for men is repercussions. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, whatever you want to do with the relationship, you know what I'm saying, just the so-called physical abuse, it's always something that leverage against a man that it encourage him not to do it. But the reason we see these women is so wild and reckless out here today is because guess what? What's the? I mean, everybody to know that I done had a partner who old lady was going upside his head.
Yeah, consequences for telling their husbands no.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
is that Mrs. Carter's husband? Mr.
Yes, you know it is. Yes, you know it is.
So he's saying that there's consequences for saying no? I'm sorry, I missed the
You said
first
what?
part of that. You said that he said that there was consequences for saying no?
No, he said, no, what he said was, you guys, the Eastern women, have consequences if they even tell their husbands no. But no. He don't believe in putting his hands on women. We respect each other. We respect each other now. Like I said before, the comment that the gentleman is referring to is, if I caught my husband cheating, would I hit him? And I said, hell yeah, I would hit him with a bat. That's exactly what I said, because I've told my husband several times, don't do it. If he did it, then yeah. Okay.
So Mrs. Carter,
But it's not truthful. But it's not my reality. If I did catch him, I probably would hit him, but I wouldn't have to worry about that, because I know he's not going to do that.
Mrs. Carter, I know you can't hear me very well, but I want you to try just a little bit. I want to ask you, if a man were to say the same thing, if I catch my woman doing so-and-so, I will hit her with a bat. Just like you said. What is the difference between the two? Just because you're a woman, you're allowed to say that and he is not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Say what you said, honey. What did you say?
I catch my bitch over there cheating, I will kill her ass dead.
Mhm.
I kill her both of them. I put the gun in both of their mouths. And I pull the trigger loud. Fuck that.
But that's the way my husband is.
So wait, you just said that you didn't want a man telling you that he can discipline you, but he just said that he can discipline you, and you said that's what it is. That's my man.
Because he's saying it from the beginning. That's not discipline, honey. Honey, that's not discipline. He's telling you straight out. He's not gonna discipline me though. He said he's gonna take me out if he ever caught me cheating. That's not discipline. Discipline
you would
is what
rather
you
be
give a
told.
child
You
when
would
they act
rather
up.
be told that you're
Go
going to
sit down,
get
son.
killed.
Go sit down.
You would rather be told that you're going to get killed than to be disciplined. Is that what you're saying?
Huh?
You would rather be told that you will be taken out than be disciplined.
Well, I don't look at it like that. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about nothing like that because I'm not going to do that. He's just letting me know from the beginning, if you play with my heart, I'll hurt you. That's just basically what I'm trying to say too, is if I tell a man I love you, don't play games with me. Don't do nothing like that, okay? If you don't love me, then say you don't love me. Don't string me on, don't play games, because you never know how the next person feels. You never know. So if you're upfront and honest with the person from the beginning, I don't think that there even should be a problem. So no one has to discipline anyone.
Can I get a man's point of view on this? Because
No, I mean it's obvious. Like I said, if you let her talk long enough, she will step on her own words. Cause I did that. Like I said, I have nothing against the lady. I think the lady cool. You know what I'm saying? Me and her chopped it up before. But I mean, I'm gonna tell her what it is. I just let her talk. You know what? Have you ever seen me this quiet on the panel, Ameera?
no, sir.
Hey, cause you know what? I know that if you let them talk, they will step on their tongue, and then everything that you asked her at first, once I reveal what she said on the previous panel, you saw how she stepped on her tongue. Now it's okay to not only beat, but to.
It's not okay to beat nobody.
No, listen,
I didn't say it was okay. It's not okay.
Baby, listen. But what I mean, I'm going to call you baby because I know you got. I'm sorry, I'm from the South, so I hope you didn't take that the wrong way. But the thing is what you did at first. You was like, it's not okay. Nobody should put their hands on there. You just wait, man. You referenced the Bible. You did all this kind of stuff, right? Then now the situation arose, and then not only you said you would beat your husband with a bat, he said he'll delete you. So
But
now,
we wouldn't have to worry about that because we're not going to put each other in that situation.
Ma'am. So in that context, the true context of what y'all just no, y'all 100% agree with Ameera topic.
Thank you.
You're 100%.
No, we don't agree with no one disciplining anyone. It's not discipline. That's just my opinion. Maybe you don't see it how I do.
Okay,
But
so let me do this. I'm gonna do this.
If you say something up front, just because you're saying it don't mean it's necessarily going to happen.
Okay,
But
so let's do
it's
this.
just it's just being said to so that way you don't.
Hold on, Miss Carter.
I'll mute her just for a second.
All right, Miss Carter. Look, listen to this. I live on both spectrums. I lived in the Middle East. I lived in the Eastern world, and I live in the Western world. Newsflash: men beat women more in the Western world, and women beat men more in the Western world. I don't know what this is. This whole narrative that they're going by. That the Eastern world women getting stomped out and stuff. No, that's actually the Western world. So for us to play like we don't understand the concepts of discipline, women out here got full reins on men and disciplining them every day. It just so happens that in a certain section, in especially the Black community, women have too much financial power. Women have too much government backing. So now, not by design of the system, they have made them men. They know how to, and ain't just like everything. I didn't see the man with a slap mark on his face. And you know what the police officer did? Said, "Sir, I think you need to go to a hotel today." Or is it really worth doing his paperwork. And then now you have men egos and pride, because now men ain't gonna want to press no charges or whatever, even if the woman had just pressed charges. So the thing is, the discipline is happening. Everything that she's saying is happening, and it's happening at a greater range than it is in the Eastern culture. But we're so dysfunctional as men, and this is why I blame men. Like, all they're gonna do is take 6 months of all men coming together and say, "You touch me, I'm sending you to jail." I'm telling you, and then it gonna be a ripple effect, because these women out leverage you in society. Everything they do, not only we but the government looked at it as like, oh, it's them innocent women, and if you do a similar thing, you will go to jail. In relationships, in child custody, if a father don't pay child support, guess what he's doing? He's losing his license, losing his passport, and he's going to jail.
Right.
If a woman don't honor her right, because if you have a child support order, in the same order is visitation and actual assistance. If she don't honor her part, what happened to her?
Nothing.
And then men take it. So like I said, that's why we got these beasts running around here, these terrorists, because we create them. We harbor the environment. We harbor laws for them. That's why it always would be like that. All right.
Mr. Logic, I could not have said that better, and I appreciate the woman, Mrs. Carter. I'm going to let you up again as well, but I appreciate you coming up and speaking about it, because it showed the panel, it showed the audience that the other way around is accepted. It's acceptable for a woman to put consequences on a man. Men always face consequences for their bad behavior. Women do not. And Mrs. Crimson Cure, she says the myth is that women in the Eastern world are afraid of their men. No, they're respectful of their men. But if you have never heard an angry Arab woman tell her husband off, it happens. It does happen.
It happens, but it happens with limits too, Ameera. It gets to the point where it's like a debate. I never seen them raise their hands. I never seen them do all that kind of crazy stuff. Like they can restrain themselves to that conversation.
Yes.
But this lady just told you she'll get a bat to her husband's head.
I love that a woman came up and said, "Oh, Mrs. Carter, she dropped down, and now she's in the chat. She says it goes both ways." I'm not sure why you dropped down. You're welcome to stay here. But this is why I love to see when Western women come up. See, this is why I never even said anything. I just let it happen, because Western women will come up and say, no one can put hands on me. No one can discipline me. No one can give me any consequences. But if they did this to me, oh, this will happen and this will happen and I will do this. And ladies, don't you understand that what I'm telling you is basically the same thing that you are telling the men? There will be consequences, and there should be consequences both ways, is what I say. Mr. Definite G, Mr. Meek, and Mr. Scam Likely, I apologize, but what do you guys have to say on the subject? Whoever wants to go first, feel free.
So let me just say here that Ameera, I've lived in Palestine. I lived in Palestine for almost 3 years as a child. Number one, the one thing that I realized across the world is that the woman runs the household. This is something that I think a lot of people don't realize, is that in the household, right? Because I was a child when I lived in Palestine.
Yeah.
So because I was a child, I was allowed in Palestinian homes. And in the Palestinian homes, the women ruled inside the homes.
Right. Exactly.
Inside the homes.
Right. Because the home in our culture is the woman's domain. This is where the women take control of everything. And outside, like I said, is the man's role. And that's why I think in the Western world, things are reversed or confused. The woman doesn't know where her spot is because she's constantly outside. So when she comes home, she expects to be done by the men. So I don't know. I mean,
correct, right?
Are so backwards here, and this is why we have these kind of situations. Mrs. Carter, the people were saying that you had struck your husband. Is this true? Mrs. Carter?
Let me tell you guys.
Miss
You
Carter,
see
please approach the bench.
the scenario with Mrs. Carter, and as far as I can see, and this is just an estimation. I'm not saying I know what's going on in her home because I don't know. I truly don't care. It truly does not mean anything to me.
Did you know what happened? Did somebody get struck?
Again, I don't. I
please feel better.
what's happening. It means nothing to me. Again.
Let me ask Mrs. Carter. Mrs. Carter, can you hear me well?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. I wanted to ask you, because people were asking what happened, can you explain what happened
No.
and why?
No, again, it was based off of that same comment. It was a comment, something about if you caught your husband cheating, would you hit him? Or what would you do? And I said, oh, well, if I caught my husband cheating, I'd beat him with that. That's what I said. And I said, because I've told him, don't ever cheat on me. You ain't got to do that. If you don't want to be with me, then you don't have to stay here. You know, will I do it literally? Only God knows. Have I done it?
Carter,
Have I done it?
Would you like
Absolutely
legal,
not.
Would you like legal counsel?
I don't even disrespect my husband by calling him out of his name. I've never, me and my husband have been together over 15 years. I've never, not once, called him anything but husband or his first name. Never have I ever called him a B word.
If I pull up that clip,
Miss Carter.
wait, hold on. Wait, I'm sorry. Don't let off the hook. If I pull up that clip right now, Miss Carter, you telling me on that live stream you did not call your husband out of his name?
Miss Carter, please take the plea deal.
No, I didn't call
take
him no B word. I would never
take
call
the
him a B
plea
word.
now. Don't do this. Don't do it. Take the plea.
I didn't say you called him a B word. No, ma'am. Listen, see, I didn't say you called him a B word. I said on that live stream, did you not constantly call? Wait. Okay, see, all right, go ahead.
Unmuted her because the echo.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
All right, somebody says so, let it go. But the whole
I turned it off.
The whole point I'm bringing it up is to show you how somebody will say something in one context, and then they will actually use their emotional intelligence to try to defeat a conversation when previously they already agreed upon the whole dismarriage thing. But only thing that you agreed upon, Miss Carter, is to go both ways. I'm gonna say this: you're an equal opportunist. You know what I'm saying? You believe that, you know what, I should be able to put my hands on him. He should be able. I'm not judging you for it, but in the context of it, if you come up here and you accept a position which previously you identified it not to be true, that's why it kind of messes with me. Like, I mean, take your stand on it. If that's what you believe in, if that's your code in your house, that's what you and your husband got agreed upon. Ain't nobody in this panel right now can tell you is it wrong or right. But you took a position that was opposite of what you actually live. That's the only problem I have, man.
Well, Miss Carter,
Miss Carter, take the plea deal.
Carter, let me ask you a few questions real quick.
Mrs. Carter, one quick thing, guys, really quickly. Mrs. Carter, I want to hear you speak, but you have a severe echo on your part. I don't know why your phone is echoing so much, but it wasn't doing that before. Maybe if you turn down the volume a little bit. Here, let me unmute you 1 second.
Okay,
yeah,
turn off your other YouTube.
Yeah. Now, what you got to do, Miss Carter, do this. All right. Hey, fall down, Miss Carter. But when you hit the link in the YouTube channel, make sure you press pause before you like hit pause first on the YouTube video, then hit the link.
Or mute YouTube. One or two.
If there's a way that you can mute YouTube, that'll be good. Because I want to hear you, but it's a really bad echo. We're all hearing ourselves back. Here, hold on, what are you saying? Okay, I think she's doing down now. I think she's going down. Okay, she's gonna come back then. All right.
Yeah, I got some Lumifoil. If it don't work, I got a whole bunch of Lumifoil I got when I was in the Philippines. This Philippine Lumifoil is good for all type of iPhones, Android devices, tablets, and you know what I'm saying? Hey, matter of fact, I even got some satellites for y'all guys because this internet situation on YouTube is insane.
But have you guys noticed that when it comes down to putting consequences on women like to fight back with this and say, you can't do this, you can't do that, because You're not my dad. You're not, who are you? I've already been raised. What she said when she first entered was, you're not my father. I've already been raised. I don't need you to keep raising me. But the truth is, I'm going to be honest with women. Women, we are like children. We are
They're
like
children.
we really are. And I know
children.
that women like to feel so independent. And I am woman, hear me roar. Woman, in the real world, if we weren't in the civilized world, you would understand that you are not as strong as you think you are. You're only strong because the men have made the world so comfortable for you to feel strong. You're not. If you go ahead, Mr. Scammon, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now, I was just going to say all people react based on incentives and consequences. Actually, I'll let Ms. Carter go ahead. I'll go ahead after. You're still standing trial. Ms. Carter, please approach the bench. If you'd like to seek legal counsel, me, lead public defender, my services are available for $1,000 an hour.
You
Or
do
would you
not,
like to represent yourself?
Mrs.
You're
Carter.
facing charges on domestic violence and reckless endangerment. How do you plead?
All
Can
right.
you trust Mrs. Carter?
Yeah, send me your address, Ms. Carter. Let me send you that Lumber it's thicker than normal.
Yeah, and
I'll go ahead.
let me speak on the topic real quick. Yeah, let me speak on the
Hold
topic.
I was gonna go.
Mr. Scam like he was in the middle of his thing, and then Mr. Definite G. Pardon me, guys.
Yeah, I'll try
I
to
never
keep it
got
short.
to, but all right.
Okay, and then Mr. Meek. I'm sorry, guys. However you guys want to work it out, please.
I'll try to keep it short.
Okay.
Unfortunately, well, I'll say this much: there are people who are wives, there are women who are wives, and there's women who are not. People keep enabling the women who are not wives, rewarding, chasing after, like the very women who are doing this destruction. 3 days later in the DMs, hey baby, what you got on? What's going? They're going over there to these women, enabling the behavior. Or these women have other options of other simps going over there to enable them. Therefore, they're getting victimized and up in the system. Then you got raw dog Ronnie busting these women, creating kids. Then you got people in and out of the courtroom, and you got women-raised men going over and enabling this behavior. So there's few people who understand, hey, wives don't act like this. I'm not going to marry, I'm not going to date women like this. So you can eliminate 90% of the behavior by not rewarding the bad behavior to begin with in the process of vetting women. Now, there are some chameleons that can slip through the cracks. When you notice it, run. Or end up in the system, end up stuck with one of these in your household, stand in trial, and the rest. Just singing, whoa.
No, thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Scam Likely. Definite G, please.
Yeah, I mean, women need discipline from men. Matter of fact, constant monitoring, because women are hedonistic by nature. I mentioned this on Sage Talk. They would rather feel good instead of actually be good. Because women, the thing is to actually be, yeah. The reason why, like, it's very hard to actually develop a good character, because it involves self-sacrifice. It involves you making compromises, and it involves you really taking the time to slow things down. Women don't want to do that, at least not on their own. So women would rather just, this is why they're horrible with money, is that they will go to the mall, burn up the credit card, just because they just felt good that day. So that's the issue here. And because, like, women just really don't know what they want. Like, I've mentioned this, Anton mentioned this, women don't know what they really want. They say one thing yet do another. They constantly complain about the situation that they're in, even though that that they created it. So it's all a bunch of, like, confusion when women are left to their own devices. So, but the thing is, women can't see that. They actually think that maybe this time they're going to get it right, or maybe this time they're going to, change, but then they end up in the same cycle over and over again. This feel good, fluffy Disney fairy tale. And then when they're older and they got 3 baby daddies and none of them want to take care of their kids, then they finally wake up and then they want to improve their lives. So women need discipline. They can't be left to their own devices. They can't.
I agree. Mr. Meek, did you want to finish?
Yeah. Number one, you can never listen to women. If you are a male and you're listening to a woman, you're a failure. That's number one. I don't spend time listening to women. I'm a man with 2 daughters and a wife. And guess what? I discipline them and I don't put my hand on them. So Miss Carter, she keeps talking about, oh, you put your hands on something. And I'm not trying to disparage Miss Carter, and I'm not trying to say she's doing something wrong, but her whole narrative of discipline meaning abuse is pure foolishness. I don't put my hands on my daughters. I speak with my daughters. I just went, actually, before I came live, we had to go through something, and I just spoke with my daughters, and we went through discipline. So the narrative of discipline means you two-piecing and uppercutting and Mike Tyson somebody. That's narrative. I speak with them. We speak. We go through scenarios and we talk about things, and I discipline them. You see, I have complete control of my household, but I also pay the cost to be the boss. And see, this is where I think a lot of people don't realize. As men, you have to pay the cost to be the boss. You know what that means? 60, 70 hours, working extra, doing whatever you have to do. You have to pay the cost. Right?
And I want to add something to what Ameera said. And I think, and I think this would be, I think you two had said it, Meek, about the misconceptions of actual Eastern culture. Well, people never been. They just look at it on TV. They look at it as Hezbollah and the Taliban and all these radical organizations, and they think that, oh, this is how the culture is. So now they have these misconceptions that these women is over there getting their head beat in, they stuff like that. No, they have a defined domain. They have complete control over their domain. And then now the men actually go out in the hazardous domain, which we'll consider the world. But in the United States, what we have today is that women have control of the domain, which we could consider our household. They have total control, especially the Black community. And I'm going to just say this, it's expanding. Now it's expanding to the fact that they're having control of the political arena. They're having control of government. They have control of everything. So now that's why you see...
Even the military, they're having control over, sending men to go die, even though they're women.
Hey, logic. That same false narrative is the same one they're saying about Black men. So just like they're saying they're beating their heads in over in the Middle East, and they're saying the same thing about all the 6-figure or whatever the 6-figure ad, whatever them YouTube talking points are.
But do you know
all the men in the 50s, they all suffered abuse. The women, they got the same false narratives in America about men that they don't even know about.
But
I'm agreeing with you about overseas.
No.
They're doing the same false narratives in America.
I'm gonna say this again.
They the God.
Hold up. I said this on a panel. I don't know when it was. It was recently. But I said, you know, the women, the ones who get beat, is the ones that we see like these American women out here today. The ones who got kids out of wedlock. Then now they have no safe haven. They have no true community to go to within that household. So now they the ones that become the prostitutes. And now and the whole narrative changed now when you become a prostitute. You see what I'm saying? So that means now you got to work in a hostile environment. You don't have them confines that men can protect you. So the thing is like they do have a small percentage of that, but what else can they do but sell box? That's what they sell box. In every culture, you got some box sellers. And then the reason that a lot of these Middle Eastern countries import the box is because they don't have enough of their women that fit that criteria. I'm gonna say this again. The reason Middle Eastern men, whether they import them from the Philippines, they import them from Thailand, they import them from Russia, they import their boxes because their women is to a standard that they don't have enough for prostitutes.
But let me tell you guys something, right? Again, I lived overseas as a minor in Palestine. Ameera knows what Palestine is. Okay, let me tell you something, right? This is the reason why I laugh at American women. They talk about Middle Eastern women, but here's one thing that they don't realize: the American woman now is sad, and let me tell you, this is sad. They're worth a couple shots and a blunt. Do you know what a Middle Eastern woman is worth? You know what a man has to go through to take on a Middle Eastern woman? Like, do we know? Like, a lot of people don't know. You talk about, oh, they're so oppressed. But guess what? A man cannot take on a Middle Eastern woman if he does not have a home. If he does not have certain criterias, he will not be able to take on that woman. And that's what
I've looked up.
Like,
yeah, I've even heard that, like,
to provide for her. He has to be, first of all, he's got to go to her father. Like, there's so much that goes on that even gets a man to be able to take a second look at a woman in the Middle East that makes her valuable. American women, you could just walk up to them, buy them a shot or two, tell them you look pretty. You know what? I'm not even going to get into that.
No, get into it. Shit,
get into that.
I've even heard that. I've even heard that a lot of Middle Eastern, like a lot of like in the Middle East, they have the most millionaires of any group of people in the world. So their standard.
It ain't even about
high.
the most millionaires, bro. It's that the women, before you even can look at a woman and say you want to take her for a wife, you have to be somewhat established. You have to have certain things.
Yeah.
Right? The fact
I was
that,
saying like the standard.
honestly, I will be honest. The fact that Ameera even gets to be in this space, I don't even know how. Her husband has to be westernized. The fact that she's even in this space.
You got a point.
like y'all don't even realize what's going on. Like,
yeah, most Middle Eastern women are not allowed to speak out. That's true.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that she's allowed to be in this space is weird.
You won't see many of me out. You will not see many of me.
And that's what I'm saying. They're completely westernized. Like, they're Americans. If you really want to be honest, like,
truthfully though, we still are where we are. Those people who live in America, this is what it is. This is what we got.
No, but we still have our culture extremely intact. No matter what country we go to, we still have our traditions extremely intact.
No, I'm just talking about as a whole, meaning Middle Eastern, black, white. We still are where we are. What can we do with what we got or not?
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Okay. We can't grab all the women out here in the streets and say, come here, you're going to turn into an Eastern woman. It's not going to work. You can't shame them. You can't pay them to do it. They said, no, we're going to eat until we're 486 pounds. We're going to pop out. They said, this is what we're going to do. And we're going to stand strong on it. Let them do what they do. They got free will. Go out to the dustosphere, have at it. There's
but you know why
there's 6 women per state who are saying, you know what, we want to be wives. So I got to fight Logic, Definite G, and Meek in the parking lot to try to get to the that's how it is.
Mrs. Carter asked me a question. I need to answer this, guys. I do apologize. I just make sure I need to answer this. She asked me, so does your husband discipline you, host, which means me?
Yes, he does. I can answer that.
In one of my first videos, I had actually admitted to a time when I have been disciplined because, like, when I got married, I was only 22. I was like more, I still wasn't in the flow yet of being married. And yes, my husband has disciplined me. Yes, and this is why I tell you, certain marriages, The thing is, like Western women see everything as abuse. Everything is abuse because you're not allowed to tell a woman anything. You're not allowed to do anything to her.
Hey, I'm about to drop off.
How it is.
Y'all have a good night. I'm about to slide off.
Good night, Mr. Family.
Women go to the gym.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. See, it's that, because see, this is the thing though. Wait, it's not. See, I hate these YouTube talking points about the gym, right? Because if you look at other coaches that have successful marriages, you look at other coaches that actually have successful family dynamics. It's not just slim women. Like slim women, that's some YouTube talking point. It's like, when did this become the criteria? So now when you're finding these slim women that look good, they're the ones that the system is using against you. They have all the control. So, but you know what? It's a YouTube talking point. It sounds good. The fit, feminine type of woman. It's a good narrative for America to get off of the premises that we really need to focus on. And that is really that these women don't care about the household. These women is not invested in the household. These women is invested in everything else. That's why you can have an American woman say, hey, I don't want kids. Or I don't want this family dynamic, because now they have so many other things in society that they can take over and destroy. Instead of building something that they was designed to do, they was physically designed to build the household. That's why they got milk in their breast, because they was meant to control that dynamic in the household.
Don't worry, America's putting them back in the kitchen. Get it right.
Wait, logic.
This pandemic,
logic.
This pandemic has put it back in play. They're going back in the kitchen. Trust me. It's
logic. I have to push back on the first thing you said, that fit, feminine, and friendly is just using talking points. How? Like, how's it just?
Nobody was using those three words until Kevin Samuels. Like, everybody's like, can we let the men? I mean, bro, like, how long are we gonna continually recite Biggie lines? I mean, like, seriously, like, it's kind of like nobody was using those three. Sign language. Oh, I saw Eric on the last video. It was using sign language. Like, be original.
Yeah, I understand. Be original. That. No, I understand that. But is the point wrong though? Yes, it's a YouTube talking point, but is it wrong?
Listen, it is. I'm telling you, if you want to know how it's wrong, right? Is that what you're telling our men to do is to go out and look for these fit, and then this feminine, I don't know what they have no true meaning for feminine. But these fit women in a Western society are the biggest terrorists. Let's get that. Let's keep that funky. They have been taking advantage of this system for way too long, that it leveraged everything they do. So now I'm telling you, most of these, and guess what? That's something that you got to deal with America. You got to deal with, if you get like a beautiful little lady like Janae, you got to deal with her.
Cap.
You got to deal with her. Wait, hold on, let me finish.
Are you saying that's all of them? Are you saying that's all of them?
Did I say it's all of them?
No, just making sure.
Okay, so watch this. But this is what it is, right? Just like this. It's like if you have a woman who got a master's degree. One of the points I agree with Kevin Samuels. You got a master's degree. She's been trained to do what? She's been trained to lead. When you go through this education system, it's training you to lead. So now she go from elementary school to middle school. She's been trained to lead. She's been trained to get the bag. She's been trained not to produce a successful household, but to have a control in the world dynamics. She's been trained to do this.
She's been trained to be a diversity hire. Fuck out of hell.
Facts.
What I was just saying, my point is she's been trained to do this. The same thing with these so-called beautiful feminine women. In America, they has been trained to do what? Fuck shit up. I'm telling you.
Logic. You're right. No. You're right on the college aspect that, most majority of these colleges are, promoting feminism. That is true. And a lot of women, they just eat that up. At the same time, if a woman really wants to be a very quality woman, one, she has to understand what that is. And being
They don't
kind,
care.
feminine, and friendly is a good start. Let
They
me
don't
finish. Let me finish.
care.
Let me finish. Let me finish, Eric. Let me finish.
You
Being
got you. Shut
fine,
up. Go
feminine,
ahead.
and friendly would be, yeah, it'll be a start. So then these women will have to understand what that means and what that is. So then
No, no, no,
that
no,
will
no.
start.
But this
Let,
is
let me
this.
let, let me finish. Let me finish. I'll let you finish. I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak. Let me finish. When, because here's the thing, I do believe in molding the women that you are with. I do believe that, but it has to be her decision if she wants to be molded. If she doesn't want to be molded, kick her out.
Oh my.
How
But
do
if
you
she
mold without
does,
inflicting pain?
you tell her, here's the thing, you lay out your standards and you tell her, this is what I want. Are you okay with that? If she says no, kick her out. Now, if she is going to be combative, if she's going to be combative, if she's going to be an issue and she just keep resisting what you're trying to instill her into your preferences, then she has to leave. But if she is going to stay with you, you hold her to task to the standards that you have. This is what me really means to be that authority figure in that home. She's going to conform to my standards and what I want her to do. It's not going to be the other way around.
But
So
bro,
that's
this
what's
is the whole
molding. You
point.
don't need
This,
to. You don't need
but
to. No, no, no. You don't need to. Wait. Let me finish. Let me finish. No, I'm about to land this plane. I'm about to end this. You do not. You don't need to hit a woman in order to mold her at all. You don't. If you really, especially if she really likes you, if she's really attracted to you, if she really likes you, you just have to use your words. And then if she really wants to end that relationship and go back out there into the streets, that's her decision. But if she wants to make this thing work, she will make the necessary sacrifices to conform to your program. She will.
okay. So now watch this. So watch this. So what's the dominant what is the most dominant relationship program in the United States?
Relationship program.
Women lead,
No, no,
men follow.
no, 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 no. You know what? The US government program. Because
Facts.
no matter what you do or say, what all that stuff you say about a woman jump on your plane and stuff like that, yeah, it's cool because I talk about that too. But the thing about it is the most dominant relationship plan is the United States government, because now the only difference between being married in other cultures, you don't marry the state. See, you don't know this, that, and all the marriage people be talking all this crazy stuff on YouTube, but you're not marrying the woman, you're marrying the state.
That's a fact.
So now when you marry that alleged woman in the United States, you have a document that say with that document, you're consenting to the rules of the United States of America. You're considering to alimony. You're considering to all this different stuff that a lot of these other countries don't have. That's what I'm saying. So that's the biggest plan. That plan will outweigh your plan. And you know why? I'm gonna tell you why
No,
that plan.
actually,
Wait,
here's the thing. No. Actually, I have to push back. Well, but I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish.
let me finish. The only reason I'm saying that plan will outweigh your plan is because now she have a safety net. At any time, you can do something that she don't like, and you know what can happen? She can go back to daddy daycare and his safety plan, and he would instruct you to give everything that you have to her because she didn't want to get on your individual plan because the state plan is stronger. Do you understand that?
Zaddy Democrat, baby.
Okay.
Zaddy
Well,
Democrat.
no.
Guys,
You're
I need to
right.
let the lady
You're.
speak a little bit. I want to get Janae,
Mhm.
or is it Nay or Janae? I'm sorry. Nay? You're muted.
Hey, I said it's Janae or Nay, whatever
Hi
you
there.
want.
Hi.
Yeah, hey
What's your view on discipline, and would you let your man discipline you? Can he?
My view on discipline is like discipline is good. Like the Bible talks about discipline, you need to be able to discipline yourself. It's a very important thing to have. So if you're in a situation where your man needs to discipline you, I mean, and that looks different for everyone. Some people think physical, some people think a stern talking to or an ultimatum or taking away privileges, whatever that means. I think that it's fine. Like, I mean, he's kind of there to hold you accountable, I feel like. So it's just, it could be as simple like, hey, you embarrassed me at this party and I don't like it. Actually, my boyfriend told me that once because I got too drunk and I felt really bad about it and I didn't do it again. But yeah, I mean, it's not fun to be disciplined, but it's necessary, especially if everyone makes mistakes. So,
that was one of the points that I brought up. Do you guys remember? Can you guys hear me good? Really quickly? Can you guys hear me good? Okay. That was one of the points that I brought up that I've been hearing the men speak about when they were talking about the reasons why they want their woman to listen to them is because number one, they don't want to be embarrassed by her. Number two, they don't want to be in danger because of her. Because a lot of men have been knocked out, killed, and many things have happened to men because a woman didn't know when to be quiet or she didn't listen to the man when he asked her to listen to me. I'm your protector. Please be quiet because I don't want to get into a bad situation because of you. And like I said, embarrassment. Women often embarrass their men by accident. They don't know what they're doing because us women, I swear we're like kids. Sometimes we don't realize it. Sometimes we're talking too much. Sometimes we're over talking him. Sometimes we're demeaning him and not even knowing it. And if he's telling you, hey, stop, and you're like, you don't tell me what to do. I can speak. I like Miss Anita said, I'm grown. You're not my father. I've already been raised. Then what is he there for? How is he even authority? That's the whole protection equals authority. If he is your protector, he is responsible for you in a way. So you need to give him some authority over you.
But see, you got to ask yourself this, Ameera. Like, I mean, especially Nay. I think you like in the West Coast, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to, at 2:00 in the morning, to go out and get something to drink, right, or go and get something to eat, can you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel safe for the most part?
Yeah, I do.
Why do you feel safe?
I live in a safe area. I'd probably go to a drive-through so I could stay in my car.
Mm-hmm. But if some just say some weirdo come to your car and start banging on your car, what you gonna do?
I'd feel really uncomfortable at that point.
But I mean, but you'll call the police, right?
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So the only reason I say that is it's a lot of cultures that still exist in the United States outside the Western civilization. That protection is that man. So like that's one of the things I see. Like, I mean, in certain areas that I go visit and travel, I just don't see random women walking the streets at late at night. And then they have this freedom. Like I said, America is good, but it's a double-edged sword. If you give freedoms, sometimes that freedom come with consequences. To the fact that the reason these women is acting the way they act today is because they only need men for dick. Let's keep it funky. Everything else is provided by the system. And now when you got a little chick that can lick the box, you know what I'm saying, and then you get hooked on and the toys and all that kind of stuff like that, the need for each other in America is almost non-existent. That's our true problem. Our government has came in and provided the resources necessary on both ends. So now we don't truly need each other. And then we talk around in circles or whatever. No, the reason the women is like this now is because the government provides all the things that men provided 100 years ago. And then we never address it. We sit here and we continue to see our you know what I'm saying, our nation fall at the feet of women. The reason it fall at the feet of women is because they're taking all these different things and get to the government to provide for these women. So now these women don't need men. That's why you can get these women come up in and they would tell you like what Kayla famous words, right? I don't give a fuck. You can't tell me nothing, right? And we know that's a whole lot of black women that say that. And now there's a whole lot of all American women saying that exact same thing. I don't care. Who are you? What are you to tell me? Who are you? Who qualified you to say this? Because they understand that they're safe through the government. That's why it's fucked up. And that's why the government understand. The more chaos is created between these relationships, the bigger the government get. And then people don't understand that simple concept. And all you got to do is get your ass a passport and travel to different countries and see a blueprint of effective relationships, of effective communication, of effective everything, and you will say, you know what? These women is not my biggest enemy. It's the U.S. government.
Mr. Logic, I want to bring up a point. I'm so happy that I have people on the panel that have been to the Middle East who have seen what's real. And me and Mr. Logic, we always talk about this on Tuesdays, that the America as it is right now, crime rates are going to spark. They're going to spike like crazy pretty soon here, because you think gas prices are bad, everything is getting bad, and it's slowly getting bad. So people don't really notice that well. But if you pay attention, every time you go to the gas pump, you're paying more. Every time you go to the grocery store, you're paying more. Every time you go outside, there's another tent of a homeless person outside, because people are not doing well in this country. Have you seen the homelessness in this country? It's out of control. So with that happening and with crime getting ready to spike the way it is, more women need to recognize that they do need the protection of a man, because when those nights come where the police are not working anymore, a lot of the police refuse to to chase criminals. They refuse. Why? Why? When the government has them, not sorry, not the government, the governor has them by the huevos. They cannot do anything without being threatened with jail. So what's going to happen when the police don't want to work anymore? The crime is out of control. People, like I said, people are stealing gas out of rental cars now because gas is too high. There are people in Arizona who are moving into mansions, kicking out the owners and just taking whatever they want now. And that's going to happen around the country as well. What's going to happen when those nights happen? Us women, us that we think we're so strong, we're so gangster. Oh yeah, I'll fight a man, I'll do anything. You're not going to do anything but lay there and cry. That's it. And like I said, you need to be under the protection of a man. And I don't care like how strong a woman looks or how no. I have guns. I have guns all the time with me. But let me just drop my gun in the heated exchange. I'm done for.
And something,
And
something, it's gonna be pretty soon. Where if it's not now, men are the women's last line of protection. They're gonna be the only protection they have. Now, let me say this. Let me say this. When you are a man looking to protect a woman, okay, that there are gonna be women who are gonna be submissive to you, meaning, they trust their lives with you. That means before that man enters that relationship, he better have his mind right. Because, like I say, the man is the only protection she has. And if you don't have your mind right, if you got all that trauma in your head right now, it's gonna come out and it's not gonna look good. And suddenly the woman's gonna think, well, who's gonna protect me now? If my man, who's gonna protect me from my man when nobody else is going to do it? So fellas, before you even get into a relationship, please make sure your life is straight and all your skeletons are out of the closet.
and I
Another thing
also
about
wanted
that, like I said,
because
oh, go ahead, Mr. G. I'm sorry.
yeah, because Eugene just touched on what I wanted to touch on. In my opinion, I try to have a balanced perspective when it comes to everything. I try my best. In my opinion, I think the government and the policies are only half the problem. Because, like, let's say if we do get these policies straight, we still have to deal with the men and the woman themselves. Like, if, just like Eugene said, if his head is not on straight, regardless, she will still cheat on him. If he doesn't have his life together, regardless, she's going to cause mess. She's going to cause problems. So, with that being said, yes, the government and the policies do need to change. Yes, they need to change drastically. But the men and the women in these relationships, they have to be better themselves as well so that we can create a better society. That's in my opinion, just my opinion, policies in the government, since women are very influenced by their environment, they are. Like they will follow whoever's the strongest leader, they'll follow his program. At the same time, the men and the women themselves, they still have to improve, regardless of any government policies or regulations or any sort of statutes that get established regardless. So that's just my opinion. My opinion.
Let me
One
say
of the,
this, right?
I want to shout out to the super chats. Thank you so much, the RX. He says one of the most frustrating things men are facing is the severe lack of internal awareness and depth these women are demonstrating to us. You can't grow if you aren't willing to learn. Thank you so much for that. And also I wanted to shout out this other super chat by John the Baptist. Thank you, Mr. John the Baptist. He says, I will say it today and every day as long as I live. Men need to only choose to lead women who submit her free will to her husband or her father. If she won't submit to a man, then she cannot be protected.
And John the Baptist is absolutely right. Let me say this, right?
Absolutely.
And I got to say something, and I want to say it for everyone to understand. Black women who think they don't need men, without men, and black men leave this earth, guess what? You're a slave, and that's where your standing will be. Now, I also want to say something else, right? Me and my family, we were at Woodbury Commons. For those that are New Yorkers, you know what Woodbury Common is. But for the people who don't know, that is the outlets, right? So you go to the outlets to buy your clothes and stuff. You know, for those of us that do well, you go buy things in bulks for thousands of dollars. When you're at the outlets, right, you buy many things. You have all the name brands and everything. So we're at the outlets, and this was during COVID, right? So there were certain
Mr.
rooms.
I apologize, but can we get a little bit to the point of the story, just a little bit faster? I'm so sorry.
Oh, no problem. So my daughter wanted to try something on, and some guy comes up and he tries to he tries to dictate the way it was going. And I looked at him and I said, bro, listen, step back, bro. Don't ever in your life talk to my daughter a day in your life. Never. Right? Because he wanted to dictate the way it's going. Mm-hmm. And what happens is, so he gets into a rah-rah. And it's funny because I just want to say, my children's mother, she looked over and just kept shopping and did not even involve herself, did not say a word, mm-hmm. did not do anything, because she knew my man has this. I have nothing to say.
Right.
He is protecting my family. There's mm-hmm. nothing for me to say. He has it.
Right.
And this man went to try and say something. And at the end of the day, when I corrected him, he understood, let me shut my mouth, because, and not, again, I don't.
Hey, wait a minute. Who was this man? Was it the random guy?
It was some spick that decided he was going to say something. At the end of the day,
you're not allowed to
wait,
say
that's not cool language, bro. You're not
oh man,
let me tell you
something. Let me tell you something. Hold on. Let me tell all y'all something. Y'all be fronting, but y'all know what everybody say about American black people.
So what does that got to do with us, though? Why do we kill people talk about us? Let me
tell y'all something. I don't have no respect for nobody that don't respect American black men. And that's a fact. If you don't respect me as a man, I am going to address you the way you're going to address me. And if y'all don't like it, that's on y'all.
Listen, brother, not to cut you
The
off,
point is,
bro,
Meek, there was no Hispanic person who insulted any black man on here. That's what I'm saying.
But I haven't insulted you, bro. So I'm Dominican. I'm a spit. What you call a spit, I'm a spit, bro.
Yeah, brother, I'm Panamanian.
You gotta watch how you say. You gotta watch what you say, bro.
I don't gotta watch nothing.
He was a little
I know.
I'm saying, see, that's what I'm saying. As a man, especially being a black man, you should be concerned about what you say to other people. It might hurt somebody's feelings. As a man, you're supposed to care about other people's feelings. That's your job.
And I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but I know what I go through every day in this world. And there's not been a Hispanic man that has cared about how he talk about me. I could tell you the situations I've been in about what they've been saying and what they've been doing. So come on, man, get out of here.
Okay, but that's anecdotal. But that's anecdotal. You can't. That's like a white person saying that, yo, I'm gonna treat every black man like a thug or a criminal because he's black. You can't do that. You got to take it case by case basis.
Yeah,
that's
and I do take case by case. So I'm not saying none of y'all have done anything to me, but I'm letting it be known that I'm not gonna be disrespected, and I know how it works. Hispanic people, white people, Arabs, Asians, they ain't our friends, and we gonna call them for what they are.
I disagree, bro. I disagree. That's a closed-minded way of thinking, bro.
And I grew up with black people, bro. You can't even say that, bro.
Yeah, you.
Nah, y'all just scared to tell the truth because y'all ain't been out in this world.
That's not the truth. That's a dark
way to handle the situation. That's all it is.
That's a dark way of thinking about things.
Okay. All right. You know what?
I mean, I want to give Mr. Meek, I appreciate you actually standing your ground, even though the panel disagrees with you. One thing I want to say though on this subject, you guys already know what I'm called every day. I'm called racist because I say something. Now, if a person like me were to say the same thing, it will be accepted just kind of the same way the panel is accepting it, Mr. Meek. They would say, hey, you're out of line for saying that because, you know, why are you using racial insults and racial slurs when it had nothing to do with race? The issue wasn't about race. It was about him talking to your daughter. So why is it his race that's being brought up and being insulted when it had nothing to do with it? That's why they're saying it came out of nowhere. It came out of left field.
Because I think I believe he felt like he could father me and my child. No, you're not going to say anything. You're never going to say anything to me and my child. And I don't care if you're black, whatever your race is, you're never going to father me and my child. I'm the father. I will do what I know is best, and no one's going to tell me anything. And that is a fact. But don't
you think that that's an emotional way of looking at life, bro? That's an emotional way. Hold on. In my opinion, I have 5 kids, right? I'm not going to tell, in my opinion, but I'm also a father as well, right? I know not to say certain things to other men because it could potentially become a physical altercation because you're not going to allow another man to disrespect you. That's like you're not going to allow a man to disrespect him. So you understand that and realize.
That dude didn't know. So he got put in his place. I don't play that.
No,
but you got to understand, like just like I said,
you have to understand. Yeah.
We're all fathers here.
Well,
if we were all together hanging out, you wouldn't have said that knowing that I'm Dominican right in front of you. But you saying it because you're online. But if we were all in a panel, we were all in a circle, and you know I'm Dominican, you wouldn't have said that word.
No, I would have said that. I think you get it wrong. I think you get it wrong. Like I told you, brother, I'm half Panamanian. Bro,
I grew up with black Panamanians. I grew up with black Panamanians, bro.
All right, I don't want to give
you Panama de Colón. So,
do you see how quickly this escalated and you guys aren't even face to face? Do you see how quickly this escalated and you guys aren't even face to face? Do you see why the reasons why you have to handle certain things like in a certain way?
I don't want to derail the conversation, so let us continue the conversation in the way that Mrs. Ameera wants it to go. I do not want to derail.
Hey, bro, I'm just trying to. Hey, I'm trying to save your life, bro, because you might roll up on the real one, brother. He might bust the heat on you, bro. He might do it. He might be even more emotional. He might be even more emotional, and just you'll be gone.
Now I always take the high horse, bro. I always take the high horse.
Sarah brings up a good point. Sarah brings up a good point. Who disciplines men? Other men, like right now. Because
absolutely.
I always said that women were not in a position to discipline men. And
Bro,
what they're doing,
and
let
again,
it go. Let it go,
Like-
because this is what men do. Let them do it.
And again, I don't want to derail a conversation.
Correct.
So let's get back on topic. But no one
Yeah,
is
but
going
I just,
to
as a
tell
man, I
me-
can't just let you slide by that and not say nothing and just sit back
And
and
as a
relax.
man, I cannot watch Hispanics do what they do to American black men and act like
What?
that's
But-
okay.
But as a man, you shouldn't
Facts.
let these
Like-
trivial things get to you.
That
You
sounds kind
shouldn't.
of prejudice, bro. You putting everybody that's Hispanic in one box. Like, so you like
I
people to
don't
put
like.
black
Yeah,
folks
I don't
in
give
one
a
box?
fuck what these other races of people think of me. Fuck them. All right, they can say some shit, but they better not get in front of mine. Fuck
Exactly.
them. I don't give a shit.
Look,
give
I
a
want to
shit.
say this one thing real quick. I watch the Lapeef Network every day.
Me
Yo,
too.
Logic be killing me when he be doing the blackout. Yo, Ameera, yo, I just love the content. It's dope. One day when y'all have the regular show, I got to get on it. There you go. So one day I have the whole panel, like Miss Courtney, Anton, Chicago, with the big energy. I got to be on there one day.
Yo,
y'all have a lot of dope topics.
Hey, to say this also, Logic. Today I was at Walmart and I was seeing girls with tattoos. I was like, she a terrorist. She a terrorist in my head, bro.
Label
Bro, that was crazy. I was like, why am I thinking like Logic? Why am I thinking like this man?
Yo, I never agree with him more than when he said that they're like women that got big old tattoos, colorful, crazy hair. They loud and boisterous. They're not wife material, but they're saying there's no good men. No, we're not looking for you. You're a headache.
Yep.
I need to be able to come home
good man ain't
from a
looking for
long
them.
days of
Yeah.
work and
Look,
take my jacket off, and I get a
it's our job. It's our job to set a moral standard for our community.
Yep.
And then now, by default, what we'll do is individually enforce this, and we'll start creating good women.
Amen.
But if we can talk all we want to talk or whatever, but it have to be a assertive effort, and we have to do it unified. Like, you know what I'm saying? If women figure out that these butterfly tattoos gonna get dudes from dodging you, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna stop getting a butterfly tattoo. I'm telling you, this next election, I'm finna add Biden voters. If they vote for Biden, guess what? Hey, we should do. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no look, we giving them equity. Ain't no equality. I'm giving the women equity. In every other country that successfully worked, women are given equity. They're not given equality.
Amen.
So guess what? Us black men in America need to start doing the same thing. Make our code for conduct. You run around. Janae, do you got a butterfly tattoo, baby? Because I kick you out the panel right now.
No, Logic, but you gotta realize something.
It's a joke. I ain't gonna do
that man, regardless of how a woman looks, if she looks attractive enough, you would still sleep with her. Yes, she's loud and boisterous, but you're not gonna marry her tomorrow. She might be something to be fun with for the night.
You
can't help your male urges. You just a natural sexual creature. That's what we are.
Look,
but you can. Well, you can.
Hold on, real fast. Define. Let me just answer him though. What's gonna happen is that look, you never gonna stop men from smashing, right? Because guess what? In every other country, men smash prostitutes on a daily basis.
Yep.
But guess what? We have divinely put them in position, and then now, men, that's the way men truly lead. We have to design a culture code of conduct, and the men have to enforce it, and the women will follow.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree, Logic, and I agree with you on a lot of things. I disagree with that because nowadays, modern women do not care about anything that men say, even good men. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna live how I want to live. You don't like it, don't talk to me. And she popping her neck and all of that.
Don't deal with that.
But she's
listen.
not going to be single, but she's not going to keep a man either.
No, listen. I'm with you. But when she do that, she's defining herself for the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And if men come up with a moral code of conduct for their community, then the next one won't wipe her up. She will be put in a defined road as a streetwalker. And then men will treat her accordingly. So like they was like, man, hey, it's that chick. What's up with that chick? Right across the street from you. Nah, bro, she a streetwalker. And you know what men do? Say, oh, okay. Can you get my phone number? Because I want to bust her down real fast. Yes, you go ahead. Matter of fact, shit, I'll give you a bottle so you can bust her down. You know what I'm saying? But other than that,
You got to go back to the beginning, brother. It starts with the mother teaching their daughter how to be a woman and shame.
No, brother.
You got to bring back shame.
That's true, but let me go with Logic's point, because Logic is right. Like, the more the men actually have a backbone and say no to these broads, the more they're going to start to see a difference of the type of men that they're getting, and then they're going to want more. So when they try to approach us, we have these standards and criteria that they have to follow. And if they don't want to follow it, cool, get the fuck out. Simple as that. So this is where it takes a lot of discipline on the men for any sort of for this type of society to work. You have to stand toes down what those standards are. If she wants to deviate from them, if she wants to pick and choose what she wants to do, fine, you can do that outside. You can do that outside, because we ain't having that. We're not having that anymore. And you'd be surprised, like women.
I mean, she do it in the guest bedroom.
You be like Logic. You be like, I don't know. You guys be so surprised. Women are so influenced by a man's actions more than his words. If you actually say, cut that shit out or we're done, and you actually do it, and she knows that you're about to do it, she will change so quickly. You'd be so surprised how quickly she will change her behavior. Yes,
Not feminine. She won't change at all. She'll buck up and argue with you. I guarantee.
If she's feminine, if she's feminine, and if she actually really likes you, if she actually wants to be with you, those are the only two requirements. If she don't care, obviously she's gonna buck up, and you're gonna have to, end it with her. But like, if she really wants to be with you, she will change. She will.
But let me ask you a question. Do you think, like KS used to say, women don't date with a purpose, and that's probably the
RIP to KS.
Yeah, RIP KS, man. But don't y'all think that that's one of the biggest reasons that people, not only women, don't date with a purpose of marriage? They just date, just to be together.
Yes. Why would they? I already said this earlier. In an environment where they're afforded everything they need, they want, between the men and the government. So now the thing is that we only a spit in the bucket compared to the men in the United States, right? So yeah, we can have a code of conduct, but guess what? When you got other dudes out there that don't have a code of conduct, they waiting with the safety nets to pick them up, right? So it's gonna be a dynamic, and they got to transform. But I'm telling y'all, brothers, man, y'all need to get y'all passports. Y'all need to travel. And I'm not saying travel to go get other women. Travel to go get blueprints. Blueprint success. Because you go to these other, don't listen to the news that tell you that these countries is this and this and this and this. Go out there to visit, look at the culture, look at they operate, and look at the blueprints.
Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I have to shut down, but I appreciate all of the views, and I appreciate us having a civil conversation about this rough topic. I understand that this topic is not as comfortable as others that I present to you guys, talking about discipline and talking about relationships in this way and men's role. A lot of people, especially the women, I really want to give a special thank you to the women that came on, because typically women do not come on to the topics on my channel. Typically women will argue in the chat, they'll stay right there, and that's it. They will never come on, show their face, or give their personal experiences. So I do appreciate it. Thank you, Nay, and thank you also, what's the name? Mrs. Carter. Thank you, Mrs. Carter, as well. Mrs. Anita Carter, thank you. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for your honesty. I know it's hard to speak about it, but thank you. I think with that, I'll yield my time. Thank you, Mr. Logic, as well, for showing up and giving us the list of terroristic activities that women do. Thank you so much. Good night, guys. I appreciate it.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Good night.